Hey guys, my name is Nameable. Zelda The Wind Waker HD is the game. In the last episode, what did we do? It's been a good week and a half since I recorded last. So there's kind of a reason for why I can remember. Not that I normally can. But we worked on the triforce shards. We got triforce shards. We were working on restoring the triforce. So I think we got like at least 2 in the last episode. And in this one, we were going to be taking on the infamous Savage Labyrinth, which is ironically here on our home at Outset. I don't mind being back here again. A little while ago, well, last time we came here, a few episodes ago, I said that was likely our last trip here, but I totally forgot about this. And it's nice being here during the morning, too. Sorry, I just wanted to hear the Outset Island theme again, and I can't really hear it so well when I'm talking over it. It's nice being here during the morning. It's a really cool time to be here. I don't know, it's really nice. It has a different feeling. Outset has a different feeling when it's the morning. But yeah, anyways, so what we're gonna wanna do is head on this way. You might have found this ledge previously, but not have been able to do anything with it. We're gonna want to climb up here, and now with our hook shot, we can grab onto that tree up there. And come to this big rock over here. Alternatively, if I'm not mistaken, you can fly over from that peak way over there, I think? Actually, maybe not. I'm trying to remember. I want to say you can for some reason. That you can use your Deku Leaf from all the way over on that ledge on the other side of the island. I could be wrong. But anyways, this is definitely a surefire way to do it. So, with our power braces, come over here, lift the rock, and hop on into, again, one of the most infamous places in this game, the Savage Labyrinth. So, come on in here, which, oh, by the way, another thing is if you can, grab some berries and some of Granny's, or Grandma's soup before you come in here. You're gonna need things to restore your hearts. There are 2 fairies right there for you, so go ahead and grab them if you need them. And let's see what this sign over here says. The Savage Labyrinth. Deep in the never-ending darkness, the golden shard you seek awaits. Ooh, interesting. Well, we are after golden shard, so, you know, we have to do this. So let me explain how this works for those of you who don't know. This is the Savage Labyrinth, and it consists of 50 floors of enemies throughout the game. Floors 1 through 10, I believe, include enemies from Dragoner's Cavern. 11 through 20 include enemies from Forest Haven. After that, it's Tower of the Gods, and then just all the other enemies that you encounter later in the game. But there's 50 floors you need to go through that are packed full of enemies. Some floors harder than others, some are just keys like you saw, and some are just too many bullets. Or actually more than 2. I did think that 2 was a little way too easy. So, the enemies will definitely get harder as we go along. Don't worry. But yeah, we have 50 of these floors to go through. Not all 50 are required, only the first 30 are required if you're not 100%ing this game. So, also, this is another great place to grab some more joy pendants if you'd like to. One thing that I should have mentioned, that I didn't, is the reason why recently I've been like, wow, it really seems like we have way too many joy pendants to place in this game. I had forgotten about the fact that in the original version of the game, if you give Miss Marie 40 joy pendants, she gives you something special. It's different in this version of the game. In this version of the game, the thing that she gives you after you give her 40 joy pendants is it was one of the things that you obtain here in the Savage Labyrinth in the HD version of the game. So it kind of makes sense that the game keeps throwing tons and tons of joy pendants at you in the original version of the game, because, you know, you end up having to fork over 60 of them to Miss Marie if you're going for 100%. However, it doesn't make any sense in this version of the game, the HD version, to have so many joy pendants. So I guess that they just didn't remove them, which makes sense, I guess. I mean, it's kind of seems like a minor thing to remove, but yeah. So that's kind of the explanation, or as much of an explanation as I can think of as to why there's so many joy pendants placed in random places in this game. Even so, I don't think that's good enough of an explanation or good enough of an excuse for the amount of joy pendants that we find in this game. It's crazy. I just wish that they would at least throw rupees in the treasure chests that are throughout the do that throughout the dungeons instead of all the joy pins that they throw at you. So, yeah, thought I would kind of put that out there because I realized it the other day. I was like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense, but still. So, again, it's 50 floors. I'm not gonna talk over all 50 floors. Now, this video would probably be too quick if I didn't do any sort of commentating at all, so I'll just keep talking as long as I feel like, and whenever I kind of run out of things to say, or either that or enough time has passed, I will then speed up the rest of it. Wow, that mini blender really flew after I hit him. They kind of do fly sometimes, it's like really, really far. So, like I said, I haven't recorded in quite some time. Oh, another thing is, start getting creative with how you take out enemies. Because, you know, it just makes your life easier. Like, there you go, that's a really easy way to kill some keys. But, anyway, so like I said, I haven't recorded in a little while. The reason for that is because I went to my friend's wedding in Texas. I mentioned this in previous videos that I had this trip coming up. Well, I finally went. It was good. It was a really good trip. It was a really small wedding. Probably, I would say 25 people in total were in the wedding. Like, 25 people came to the wedding, including those who were in the ceremony. So it was a really, really small wedding. In fact, there's probably only like 10 to 15 people in the audience. Or not the audience, but there's a different term that I should use since it's a wedding instead of audience, but yeah. It was a really small group. It was 25 people, about 25 people all together. So it was really, really small. It was really, really nice. It was really pretty, and I actually was in the ceremony itself, ironically. I wasn't planning on it. And maybe saying that I was in the ceremony is a little bit generous of a thing for me to say for myself. What I mean by I was in the ceremony is that I was the doorkeeper. My job was to close the door after the ring bearer went in, and open it again for the bride and her father to walk down the aisle, and then close the door again after they've entered. Whoa, I just like threw him into his pal, and he hit his pal as I was throwing him into him. That was kind of weird. Okay. Wow. He said psych. My bad. There we go. Yeah, 2 moblins isn't too bad. But what was interesting is they told me about, yeah, okay, you know, close the door after the ring bearer goes through. Oh, which, by the way, every now and then you get little breaks. The game will say if you've had enough, you can, if you're in over your head, you can go through the light, you can head out of here. You can also grab some rupees because they know that you have to fork over a lot of rupees, especially if you're playing the Gamecube version of the game. And they'll also give you some items, things you can restock here as well. So smash the pots, get some hearts, some other things. But, you know, after using these hearts right here, I'm still at full, so... But don't worry, it's definitely gonna get harder. But one thing that... So they told me, yeah, you need to... Basically, I would have to open the door, close the door, open the door, and close the door. Or I actually had to just close the door... Wait, why am I doing this? Let's get out the arrows. Oh, that's so much easier. Which, by the way, if you're playing the game version of the game, then you'll need... If you're going for 100%, you'll need to collect... a total of 60 joy pendants, 20 for the Cabana Deed and 40 for the other thing. So if you're playing the Gamecube version of the game and you're in here, definitely grab those joy pendants from the... I can speak words. From the goblins that are here. So yeah, you can see now that the settings kind of changed. Now we have kind of like the textures that were in the Forest Haven. Is it really just 2 chew jellies? Okay, it's 3, because that makes a difference. Okay, 4. Where is that guy hiding? Oh, there you are. Wow, I really didn't see him. Maybe it's because he's blending with the green. He's probably there all along, and I just didn't see him. So, they told me you have to close the door, open the door, and close the door. But they didn't tell me that at the very end of the ceremony, they want me to open the door again so that the bride and groom could walk through the door at the end. They never told me that. So when the ceremony was over and the bride and groom started walking out of the room, I was looking at the priest and I was like, who's opening the door? And he gave me this look like, oh shoot, it's you. So then I had to like get up really quick and like open the door before they got down there. And it's a 2-sided door, so I had to like bust open the door with both hands, let them go through, and then catch the door before it slammed back shut. It was pretty wild. And it was all in the spur of the moment. Yeah, it was just insane. It was really kind of just scary. I was like, oh shoot, he wants me to do it. I was never told to do that, but I still was like, oh crap, it was thought that I was going to do it, and I'm not. So, but it all turned out fine. I got there in time, and it was okay. And I didn't like sprint towards the door. I was like right next to the door, so it's like I had to go like all the way across the room in order to make it happen. So it turned out fine, but it was really stressful. But the wedding itself was really nice. And the trip itself was even better because, whoa, for like the first frame that I was in this room, these guys weren't here. Wow, is one, do you literally die to one arrow? Wow, that is pathetic. That is so surprising. I mean, like, seriously. Oh, I was wanting to backflip. I was wanting to like backflip and then be midair when the fire goes out and then like fall into the hole. Like, that would be really cool. And the reason why I say the trip was even better is because I got to catch up with. So my friend was the bride. It's her wedding. She's the reason why I went, because her and I were friends in high school. And you know, back in the day, her and we hung out a lot, and I helped her. I was over at her house a lot because I was helping her with school. I guess, tutoring her, I guess you could say. But yeah, so we hung out a lot, and so I got pretty close to her family back in the day. But you know, after going to college, everyone going their separate ways. I hadn't seen them in a little while, so it was really nice being able to catch up with them too. Her they're really good people, so it was nice being around them and catching up with them again and whatnot. So yeah, it was just all in all. Sorry, just them hopping straight out of the pot only to be shot in the butt with an arrow was just really funny to me. So it was a really nice trip. I had a good time. Yeah, that was my first time, like, actually going to Texas. I had been to Texas airport before, but other than that, I hadn't really been to Texas before. I don't really count just going to the airport as being in the state. Okay, come on. Ah, I wasn't quick enough. Like, the final blow needed to be an arrow, and then I could have backflipped into the flame. Like, that would have been fine. So it was a good trip. Got home, I'm recording this on a Tuesday. Got home late Sunday night, and I had an audiobook, or I had a book that was due for my class the next morning. It was like our summer reading. And I hadn't really done a whole lot of it until towards the end of the summer. Oh, I should have backflipped earlier. I'll get it eventually. So I hadn't done as much reading as I should have, so I kind of had to do a lot of it last minute. Now, if you die with one arrow, that's going to be really sad. Okay, you're not going to die with just one arrow, but man, that would be pathetic. Yeah, suddenly, because you have wings, you're like impervious to arrows. Okay, let's get your babies off of me. Oh, cool. I think he's dead. Wow, you're coming, like, he blasted at me very slowly. Can I shoot you with an, oh, you can also shoot them with arrows, too. Cool, you can shoot them with arrows when they come at you that way. But it's a lot more cooler to do that also when you first face these guys in Forest Haven, or excuse me, the Forbidden Woods. You don't quite have that item yet. Let's take them down with us. If I'm going down, you're coming down with me. It'd be funny if they were still on me when I came down here. I know they're not going to be, but that'd be interesting. So yeah, another rest floor. Cool. And tons of rupees. I do not mind the rupees. I think I'm gonna hit 5,000, which is pretty incredible. I'm probably gaining, wow, a purple rupee right there. I'm probably gonna break my record in terms of like rupees collected in a playthrough, and in this playthrough. Not that I know what that number is, but I'm probably breaking it. I don't remember having this many rupees before. Okay, we're on to a totally new segment now. Our favorite guys. By that I mean my least favorite. Really, Blaze Rebs just kind of annoy me. I don't know. They're not even really that difficult. It's just that they're annoying. Okay, cool. We got one of them knocked out. Two of them knocked out. Oh, I'd already knocked one out. Apparently two. Cool. So when I got off the flight, I still had about 30 more minutes, or about 20 more minutes left in my audiobook. And it was a really long audiobook. It was 80 hours. And I started listening to it, I started reading the book a while ago. So it wasn't like I did 80 hours over the weekend. But I did a lot. And on my last day of my trip, you know, and a lot of that day was, you know, me like actually on my flights traveling back to South Carolina. Because I was like on the plane and everything and doing a lot of traveling that day, I had the time Come on, come on, come on. Oh, shoot, I wasn't quick enough. Because of that, I had plenty of time to like read or listen to my audiobook while I was on the plane and stuff. And I think I listened to probably... I think I had 12 hours left on the audiobook when I started the day. So I listened to the audiobook through most of my waking hours of the day. It was insane. Like, as I was transitioning from plane to plane, like every second that I was on the plane, every second was spent listening to the audiobook because I was like, shoot, I have like 9 hours left before midnight, which is when I had to have the book finished by midnight, so I could write a post that was due at midnight. Wow, my throat is all of a sudden getting really cloggy, which is a nice thing to say. I'm gonna drink some water. Cool, I'm back. Now, if I shoot that pot, okay, I didn't know if the arrow would both break the pot and kill the chew. I was curious. So, lost my train of thought. I don't know where I was, but yeah. So basically, I just read a ton of that book. So, yeah, it was a good trip. I enjoyed the trip, and I was glad to finish that audiobook in time. But like, I remember when I was like boarding my first flight of the day, I looked at like how much time or how much more I had to listen to the audiobook. I compared that to how many hours until midnight Eastern Standard Time, and I was like, shoot, I have like 9 hours and I have like 8.5 hours of this book to go through. I was like, I really gotta like listen to this entire thing like non-stop. So I finished the audiobook at like 11:15 that night. And like, again, I had to have it finished by midnight or before midnight so I could write my post that was due by midnight. And I just barely submitted everything on time. It was pretty insane. It really, really like came down to the wire there. But yeah, got it finished. I'm kind of behind on classes because I missed the first day for 2 of my classes thanks to being on flights on a Friday. I missed a day of class basically. So, but that's okay. It's fine. Oh, which by the way, oh, I was gonna say you can use your hookshot to steal items from these guys, but you can't. Interesting that it brings you to them because I guess they're heavier than you. I guess that makes sense. Did you stop? I just want your thing. Come on, please. Okay, I gotta like slam you against the wall so I can do this. Oh, and I killed you, never mind. Hopefully you drop it in your orb. Nope. Cool. So, yeah. Anyways, because I was on so many flights and because I just did a lot of traveling, when I came back home, I told my girlfriend, I was like, hey, listen, we just gotta like kind of pretend like I have COVID because it's very possible that I could have gotten it all the traveling that I was doing. Which, you know, I if it wasn't for like one of my best friend's weddings, I would not. I just, this isn't the time. Not that I have any judgmental feelings about anyone who does, but for me personally, I don't view this as the time to travel, and I don't want to travel right now. But, you know, again, for a friend's wedding, I had to. For one of my really good friends' weddings, I had to. But I told her, like, hey, listen, we might as well assume that I have it, so we should just, like, keep a ton of distance, or not a ton of distance, but keep 6 feet of distance while I wear this mask inside the house. And, just be careful, basically. This is kind of what I told her. So, I've been wearing a mask for most of the time that I've been in the house. Oh, shoot, I thought that I had the last one killed. Okay, well, this is a good opportunity though. I don't know why I said opportunity like that. I said opportunity. Oh, nope. Okay. Come on. Smoke clear. Come on. No! It didn't work out. I'm so sad. So, yeah, I've been wearing a mask around the house and keeping distance and stuff. And I took a COVID test today. Should get the results within 24 to 48 hours. So hopefully it's closer towards the 24, and then I get these results tomorrow. That'd be great. So then when that happens, I won't have to. Oh shoot! I won't have to wear a mask around my girlfriend and social distance from her anymore, which is again kind of difficult, being that we live together. So hopefully I get the results tomorrow, and hopefully they're negative. Because if they're positive, that's also not great. You totally just wiped your friend over there. Okay. It's interesting to see him fight like this while he's wearing his armor. Anyways, I feel like I've talked enough. I have plenty more topics to talk about just because, you know, it's been so long since I've recorded. But I feel like I should really start speeding things up now, considering this video is already decently long. So, yeah, we'll just speed things up now and play music. Oh, actually, wow. Never mind. Not speeding things up, because we got to the 30th floor. Now, getting to the 30th floor is actually the only thing that you are required to do. In either version of the game, once you're at the 30th floor, you know, again, assuming you're not doing 100%, you've done what you needed to do. You don't need to go through the remaining 20, unless you're going full 100% like I am. But definitely grab these rupees here, because, man. Oh, we maxed out at 5,000. We did it. All these rupees going to waste. Wow. Anyways, this is all that you really need to do. Because, if you recognize this marking, and what we're doing here, you know that we're getting the triforce shard, which in this version of the game you get triforce shard number 5. In the original version of the game you get triforce chart number 8. There you go. Only 3 more. Pretty cool. So, come on over here. And let me make sure that I remember this right. Oh yeah, use your mirror shield. You need to have already gone through that. You need to have already gone through the Earth Temple to be able to do this. Yep, use your mirror shield on that over there, and then you can drop down and take on the remaining 20 floors. So, what beyond here is completely optional, and I will see you once we're done. Okay, that was somewhat cool. Oh, another thing is you can take these guys out very easily by using your hook shot. So yeah, I thought I would point that out because that's really cool. Another thing, another very viable strategy is to purposefully be, I guess, possessed by them, and then to run into the light, because the second you do that, they die. And it's kind of a quicker less frustrating way to do it. Oh, by the way, look what happens to Link's eyes whenever you're possessed by them. I can't believe I didn't point that out until now. I'm glad that I did get the chance to do that, though. Okay, another rest floor. With, again, more rupees. Like, this is insane. You gotta come here just for the rupees. I mean, man. By the way, if you wondered what Link looks like when he's on his last lifeline, he looks like this. It looks like he has bags under his eyes, does he? No, I think it's just the lighting was creating that effect. Oh, I've got to say something. I don't know why I was using ice arrows to kill these guys instantly previously, because a fire arrow kills them immediately and you don't need to shatter them afterwards. So yeah, use a fire arrow. Oh, wow. I forgot that was the last floor. Okay, so here we are. And if you're playing the HD version of this game, you will get the Hero's Charm. This mystical trinket gives you the ability to see the life forces of your foes. So let's put this thing on, which, by the way, the last item in the game. Let's come over here. I guess it's this way? Interesting. That you equip it from there. I like that. You can permanently keep it on without it taking up an item slot. That's different than the original version of the game. Interesting. Okay, well yeah, cool, there it is, and that's what it looks like. It looks pretty weird. I prefer not to wear it just because of how it makes Link look, but because you can, use it in this version of the game without it taking up an item slot, it makes it a lot more practical. But we'll actually see it in use later. But yeah, that's what you get for coming here. If you're playing the original version of the game, you're gonna get piece of heart number 44 for coming all the way to the bottom of the Savage Labyrinth. But we're gonna end things off there. Next time, let's play The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker HD. We will continue working on getting stuff for the Triforce. So, thank you to my patrons: William, Nintendo Black Crisis, Joseph Dobrocho, Drew Haddad, and Grant Spector. I'm the Camerani. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys back here next time. Let me get a pretty screen to end off on. Goodbye, guys.